wanted to make a video to reach out and speak to our buyers. We still have some buyers who are sitting on the sidelines and waiting for interest rates to go down to 3%, 3.5%. Unfortunately, that ship has sailed for the foreseeable future. We have to live in reality, and the reality is that all the experts agree that interest rates are not going down below 6% anytime soon for the foreseeable future. Now, does that mean that this is a bad time to buy? Absolutely not. This is actually a great time to buy, and I'm gonna tell you why. The first thing I wanna mention is increased inventory. Inventory has increased significantly. Just from December 2024 to January 2025 in Orlando and vicinity, inventory has gone up 16.4%. So the increase in supply actually gives you more options as a buyer, and therefore it can lead to potentially lower purchase prices. So inventory is a key indicator that we are currently in a buyer's market. The second thing I want to point out is the longer time on market. Over recent months, the average property is sitting on the market for about 67 days before selling. So the longer time on market actually gives buyers more time to make their decisions, and many times leads to negotiating better deals for you. So it is definitely a time to look. You have lots of options and also a little more time to make your decisions. There has been a shift in the market dynamics in the Orlando real estate market. In the past, there was many buyers competing for a lower level of inventory. However, that is not true in the current market. In the current market, inventory has exceeded demand. So right now, currently, there's about 8 months of inventory on the market. A balanced market is generally 6 months of inventory. So therefore, the buyers have more options, and therefore that also leads to more leverage when placing offers. In Orlando and vicinity, we had some dramatic appreciation over the last couple years in pricing. So now we're seeing prices soften and stabilize in many areas. So that means that with more inventory and with a little bit of softening of the prices, buyers are going to be able to negotiate better deals in this current market climate. There are certain areas that are not going to see softening of prices. There's always going to be communities that are very, very high demand by buyers. But as an overarching comment for the Orlando market, it is a year that it's going to be softening. We're expecting some price cuts in certain areas. Negotiate those deals now, because the buyers are going to come out of the woodworks, and once those more flexible sellers are off the market, the other sellers might not be as flexible, and we might see the prices trend in the other direction. Obviously, I don't have a crystal ball. Nobody does, but it is a good time. It is definitely a buyer's market. It's a good time to get off the sidelines and get your offers in. I want to revisit interest rates, as I discussed in the beginning of the video. Just because interest rates are a little higher, you really still have a lot more buying power now that it's a buyer's market, and you can negotiate a better deal for yourself. So don't let interest rates cripple you and let you sit on the sideline. There's a lot of economic uncertainty, and there's also people that are still sitting on the sidelines because unfortunately they maybe don't have the job security or the means to buy a house now. If you do have the means to buy something now, you're gonna have less competition due to the economic uncertainty that is going on right now in the world. So take advantage of that if you're able to. You can get a great deal, you have less competition. This economy, the one thing that I do know is that this economy is not going to stay the same forever. Everything ebbs and flows over time, and there will be a time that we will be in a seller's market again. Nobody knows exactly when that will be, but I promise you it will happen. So what you want to do is get ahead of it, really understand the numbers, and when you really understand the numbers, then you can make a good decision for yourself on your next real estate purchase. In summary, interest rates are not going below 6% anytime in the foreseeable future. However, there's a lot of inventory on the market, therefore buyers have more choices. Also, inventory is sitting longer, so you have more time to make a decision. Also, sellers are becoming more flexible with their pricing, so you can negotiate a better deal. So if you're sitting on the sidelines still, get off the sidelines. Let's make an offer. Give us a call.